having, the appointment of counsel based upon his finances, then yes. But the court judge himself should have allowed Mr. Anthony to opt. That's why the district attorney indicted him so fast, to keep Mr. Anthony from obtaining counsel in order to defend against the indictment. And that this way it gave him enough time to present.
But I think he had counsel. He had counsel because he was out. He was out before the indictment came down. The indictment, remind you, the indictment just came down within the last 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, as of right now, then, what we have to do then to go back and retract the grand jury and the arrest warrants, ma'am, in order to beat this case. That's what we have to do. And to file a petition asking for this district attorney to be taken off of this case, why? Because of his stance on trying to seek re-election and using this case as a pawn to try to get his stance on re-election. And we can make a request for a special prosecutor and have this whole case reviewed again and ask to dismiss this indictment right now. So that's what we have to do.
And who has the authority and who has the power to do that?
Okay. The judge, whenever a case is filed by a district attorney, it gets a case number. It gets a criminal case number. And that criminal case number is filed with a district court judge. That district court judge has jurisdiction over that case. So now anything filed has to be filed with that district court judge under that case number. So what we're doing, we're asking for this case to be dismissed on a motion to dismiss or a motion to squash the grand jury's indictment under that case number to that judge. And we're asking for a hearing to be held before jury trial on this case. But it has to be filed with that judge, and we want a ruling on the motions to be held before this case go to trial. And our reasons for having the case dismissed is because, number one, he was justified in defending himself. Number two, he stood his ground. And that there's insufficient evidence that was presented to the grand jury to indict him under a true bill indictment, when in fact there's evidence to rebuttal the state's theory that Mr. Karmelo Anthony committed an offense against them, as opposed to them committing the offense against him. So this is why we're asking for this case to be dismissed. And the law supports you. It supports you. So the judge would have to hold a hearing under pretrial to determine if whether or not Mr. Anthony was justified. And that information comes from the police reports, the statements of the witnesses who gave their statements. That's where the facts are going to come from to determine if whether or not this was M1, self-defense, or stand your ground, man.
Either way, he had the right to defend himself. And either way, I hear a lot of people saying in the comment section that, if he's going to prison, he's going to prison. If he do go to prison, he shouldn't get that much time. But I just don't see him going to prison. I just don't see it. And if it is, we definitely know what it is, because they always trying to mess up our children's lives. Known fact.
Well, in an appeal, ma'am, anything that takes off from this case, we're going to appeal. Okay, so the appeal would have to be based upon the insufficiency of the same evidence for which we're talking about. We're asking for this indictment.
So who can make the appeal? It has to be the lawyer?
Okay, once he gets convicted for this case,
why do we have to wait till he's convicted? Why we can't do something now? Like, what can we do now?
That's what I was pointing out to you. We can right now go and file a motion in the court asking for this case to be dismissed right now.
Anybody in the public can do that?
It has to be signed by his attorney. It has to be signed by the attorney. So the attorneys in this case can do that based upon the